So we are up on all three. You're good to go,
Okay.
sir.
What up, everyone? You Control You podcast. I'm your host, Mark Shaw Evans. We getting it in. Um, I am grateful. I am happy and grateful today. Hmm. This one's been a tough one all day. I'm happy and grateful for my life and for the lessons that I have learned because they have allowed me to learn how to cope with certain things. Before I go into the topics, I've been deep diving into writing my book, and it's always a little challenging to talk about my childhood and trying to find out certain details because I know how I picture it. I know the memory I have. I just need to I'm just fact checking, and I did find out something yesterday that I don't know if I've completely come to terms with it, but I know I'm handling it better than I would have in the past. And I can only do that because of the lessons that I've learned in my life. So I'm extremely grateful for all the lessons that I continue to learn in my life. And yeah, let's keep going forward. So what I wanted to talk about today, man, I wanted to dive in about total accountability. And I wanted to sort of bounce it. I wanted to use a basketball reference first. I wanted it because now some of these former Bulls players are coming at the GOAT and talking nonsense. And it's mind blowing to me. It's completely mind blowing because it's like they are extremely hurt by the documentary that came out, what, in 2020
So.
during COVID. And it's like, was anything stated untrue? Pippen's talking about, well, he wouldn't have won those without me. Well, Jordan said that. He shared an MVP with you. So when you look at it and listen to these guys, it's like no one is staring in the mirror and saying, yo, I got to hold myself accountable for not being as successful business wise as him, not being able to do certain things in my life like him. And that's okay. You don't have to compare. But if you're going to down the man, are you looking at yourself first? And I know for Pippen, it's got to be like one can only imagine his ex-wife is engaged, I believe, or getting married to Jordan's son. So it's like the documentary came out, you felt away. Now Jordan got all the praise, and now Jordan's son getting the girl. Like, I get it. The Jordans can't stop winning, right? So I understand that. However, you got to look yourself in the mirror and really have that talk with yourself. Were you better than Michael Jordan straight up? No. The stats don't lie about that. So you couldn't beat him straight up. And the moment when the pressure was on, you collapsed. And it showed. So you didn't win a championship without him. You could say he didn't win the title without you, and that's great. You don't make it to the championships without him. He would have I imagine Jordan wins one title at least on his own. And it goes back to taking total accountability. Are you looking yourself in the mirror and taking that responsibility for yourself? Now, when we dive into that across the board, are you doing that with your life? Right? I work with a lot of young adults. And the one thing I'm constantly preaching is look in the mirror, stop blaming others. When I talk with my own students and fighters, stop blaming your parents, stop blaming your ex, stop blaming your job, stop blaming this, and look at yourself and how can you fix the things going on in your life. And it took me a very long time to learn this lesson because I used to react and behave a certain way because I always said, well, this was done to me. So I'm allowed to be angry. I'm allowed to be hurt. I'm allowed to be this. I'm allowed to be that. I wasn't taking accountability for my own actions. What's done is done. I can't go back in time and change that. And you can't live on that. You shouldn't live on that because how do you have a future? You can't even live in the present because you're stuck in the past, and you can't truly move forward because you're stuck. When you take accountability for yourself, right, that doesn't mean that the things that happen to you disappear. It doesn't mean that the programming you have, meaning the reactions, the triggers, the pain, the whatever it is, doesn't go away. But what it does allow you to do is figure out a way back in there and to create some new programming, to rewire certain things. So when someone says something to you, instead of following the typical path, right, of pain and suffering and reacting to that, it's, yeah, your instincts are telling you to feel a certain way, and that's okay. Trust your instincts. But now you have to create a new action. It's, I don't need to shut down. I don't need to while out. I don't need to raise my voice. I don't need to be violent. I don't need to do any of these things. I can now just take accountability for myself and figure out the correct action in every scenario. And that takes a little bit longer to figure out. And it takes you being okay with messing up. And too many people, we're not taking accountability, man. We're not. Why do we blame our parents? I'm 43 years old. What do I look like blaming my mom and my stepfather and my father and all these people in my life? I can't blame them. I can't hold them to the fire. I can't hold them accountable for my actions. Basically, I was in charge of my own actions by the time I was a teenager. Think about it. You knew what you should and should not do by the time you were a teenager, right? There was something going on that allowed you to know this. You got taught something. You learned in school. You learned from your family, and you still chose to react a certain way. Why? Why didn't you take accountability? Stop yapping. Stop this yapping. No, ask me a question then. So when you're going through this and you want to take total accountability for yourself, you got to start looking at every decision you make. Every action that you take has a reaction, right? So if you say something mean to me, like stop yapping,
and then bro comes in and says, knock it off.
Yeah. It's like, if I get upset by someone saying that, right, then I'm losing control of myself. And now I'm reacting to somebody else, and I'm allowing someone else to pull me out of character. And I'm not taking accountability for myself. I'm not taking total accountability. And so it's like, every action doesn't deserve a reaction. Exactly. Guapo. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, we got to stop blaming other people. And when I say we, I mean humans. But if you want me to dive deeper, let's get more specific. people of color, why are we so quick to blame everybody else? Why are we so quick to react to everyone else? Why? I get it, it hurts. But you're the only one dealing with that pain. You're the only one that's truly like going through it. Because if you react to them, they're getting what they want. They're pulling you out of character. How is that having accountability? You have this gift to reprogram your mind. You will not get rid of your core programming. So if you think about it as a computer, whatever programs came on the computer, they're still there, right? They're still running. But on every new computer, on your phone, on everything, you can add new programming. You can add a new program. So that's what I'm essentially saying to you. We all have the ability, like the Matrix, right? We have the ability, just like in the Matrix. Now, the programming we don't just plug something in the back of our head and it's instantly uploaded, right? And we don't instantly get it. Even Neo struggled with understanding his truest form, even though it was in his brain. So we can get taught something. We just have to put the work in to go get it. And we have to be okay with that. So when we're doing that, it makes life very, very simple. Total 100% accountability. So when we do that, the only one that is hurting, that you're hurting by holding a grudge is yourself. Yeah, it goes deep. You have to forgive, right? You have to forgive. I had this talk the other day working with some young adults in the Department of Corrections. And it's like the question got asked, right? Is there anything you couldn't forgive? And they were all talking. And then when everybody else answered, they got to me, they were like, Shah's going to have something to say. And I said, no, there's nothing I can't forgive. Doesn't mean I'm not going to get hurt, but I have to forgive it. And then I went the religious route. If you believe in God, right? You believe in Jesus. Jesus forgave. Jesus didn't hold any grudges, right? So if you go beyond religion, as someone just stated, there's no benefit to holding on to this. I have to forgive. You have to forgive and just let it go. The pain is still there, but there's nothing you can do unless you can go back in time, stop that situation from happening, right? You cannot do anything about it. The pain is already there. Ooh. You're going to have to turn around and run that back. So as we're working on this, and interesting. So
hold on, I'm gonna look at it on my phone.
We're seeing if the live got disconnected. So bear with us.
I think the easiest way.
We're still going?
No, you're still on.
Okay. So as we're going forward, right? Forgive and take responsibility for yourself. So yeah, something could have been done to you. Take accountability for it. Look yourself in the mirror and say, why did I react this way, right? Why did I do that? You may not have the answer right away, but was that reaction, was that action that you just took on point? Did that help you in this situation? Did fighting this person, did yelling at this person, did arguing with this person, did any of that turn out okay, right? In the short term and the long term. Like, I have to forgive. I have to. And it's not that I'm forgiving right away. It's been a process in a lot of ways. The next step is learning how to have empathy for it. Because if someone's wilding out, man, that's something must be going on in your life, man. I kind of feel bad for you. I'm sorry that you got this much pain, this much anger inside you. You know what I mean? It's just letting it go and letting it be and being honestly a human being, not conforming to what society says, right? Society is like, society wants something else. I swear. When we can forgive and learn empathy, we are good. Every day you got to reboot. Yeah. That's why I say what I'm grateful for in the morning. Today was a hard one. I'm not going to front. Today was hard. But I still found things to be grateful for. I didn't play no music this morning driving to work. I didn't play nothing. I just needed to be in my own head and really think. That's what that shit takes sometimes. We blame our parents. We blame our past. We blame all this shit. For what? How we react is on us. We cannot change the past. We must live in the present to do better in the future. And when we make a mistake and wild out, it's cool. When our core programming comes out and we mess up, hey, it is what it is. Do better. Learn how to do better. Be grateful that you made it to be and be grateful that you woke up. So many people don't make it to that next day. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like one of the things that my fighters understand is that you have to train today like there is no tomorrow. I go back to Apollo Creed talking to Rocky in Rocky 3. There is no tomorrow. Yeah. I treat the present moment like there is no tomorrow. But there's not a but. I do everything I can today. But that doesn't, and with that said, I still have plans for tomorrow. I plan for tomorrow. If tomorrow doesn't happen, there's nothing else I could do. I've talked about it before. If I'm on my deathbed, I'm okay. So it's this thought process that really helps you. It helps you not be a survivor anymore and actually live life. Yeah, and so many people don't want to make mistakes. I'm sorry. I'm looking at I know we're live on Facebook and we're live on YouTube, but I also got TikTok going over here, and there's so many people tuning in and commenting, and I love it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok tuning in. Please, while I'm talking, hit me with questions. Hit me with things like, let's have this dialogue. I'm not interviewing someone right now, so let's just have this talk. Like, and make sure you like, follow. I appreciate all that. I'm one of these days I'm gonna hit 10,000 likes on one of these live videos. One of these days I'm gonna hit it. So total accountability means you look yourself in the mirror and you take responsibility for the things that you've done. If my wife says something to me and I react poorly, that's on me. The first thing I say when I apologize, I'm like, my bad. So today might be my 10K. Hey, I'm with it. So, but when my wife and I argue, I take accountability. It doesn't matter what she said. I may tell her to look, that's not cool saying that. That's not cool doing that, right? But at the end of the day, if I allow myself to get upset and I don't behave as a mature man, I'm screwed. Someone acting erratically, emotionally, and getting that upset is more like a teenage boy that can't control their hormones. I'm not that. I have the lessons. I have the understanding of life. I should not react that way. So oh man, thank you so much. That's why I brought up the Bulls situation. You see Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, Luke Longley. Man, what? Horace, you went to Orlando and got beat by the Rockets. I ain't trying to hear you. Luke Longley, when did you do anything? And Scottie, you went to Portland but never got a ring. Granted, Jordan doesn't win a ring without a team. I feel you. But you're going to be mad for the way he carried himself? Y'all chose to get on that train, right? Y'all weren't dogs like that. You chose to get on that train. Take accountability. I wanted to win. I wanted to be on this team. I wanted to be with Jordan. Because y'all could have left. Y'all could have bounced. So it's like, Irish Brian, what's up? Irish Brian, you know what? Well, I'm gonna take a detour real quick. Irish Brian sent me a teddy bear last time, and I couldn't figure out what the heck that was. I looked at my live stuff, nothing was there. I was good. I couldn't find out what it meant. So, but thank you, because I appreciate the teddy bear. I just didn't know what the hell it was. So it's all these topics that I'm talking about. It's weird because I talk about it, I'm like, man, I basically talked about that last week because they're all connected, because life is so simple. Life is extremely simple. Take accountability, right? Go forward and do what you want to do in life. Understand that the things you want to do should be in service of somebody else. Otherwise, you're just being selfish and you're not going to get anything from that. So you got real talk, most don't want to hear it, preach it. Man, it's not about whether you want to hear it. I don't even care if someone hears it. It just needs to be said, because I was talking with, I'm sitting here talking with Corey, and I'm talking about how like I get almost frustrated is the best way to say it, because I'm talking with these kids and they're still kids. That's the thing. They're young adults, but they're still kids that are in the DOC. And it's like, they've taken losses because they're here, but they're not taking daily loss. Like the beauty of sports and the beauty of fighting, right? I train fighters. I played sports my whole life, is that you make a choice and you got to be destroyed on a consistent basis. You get so physically worn out that you're mentally exhausted and you're emotionally drained. That's where the new programming starts, right there. Those 2-a-days in football, right? Those multiple training sessions, right? When you're training for a fight in a fight camp and you don't win many battles in the camp. You lose more than you win. So you're just like calloused over mentally, emotionally, and physically by the time you step into a ring or cage. That's the point of it. But you become such a different human being because you hit rock bottom. You've been there. That's where the new reprogramming comes into play. And it's like, I want to do that. I want these kids to have to grapple every day, get punched every day, work out every day, and deal with it. Nothing like that they're going to get concussions or nothing, but it's like, I want them to go through the muck, because they're learning coping skills, but the coping skills will take a deeper root if we go deeper, if we take them back to where they're afraid, where they're shook, where they're tired and exhausted and hurt, and now they can't buck at it anymore. They have nothing left. They have nothing to give. Imagine a horse, right? A horse is bucking. If you stay on that horse, if you stay on that bull, they'll eventually calm the fuck down. Now, I'm not saying these kids are like animals, but what I'm saying is that we humans overall are animals. So the same thing works. That's how, like, look at the military. They want to do reprogramming. They break you down. They break you down and then reprogram you. I want to reprogram these kids with coping skills. All the shit they're already learning that they don't know how to apply in their own environment because it hasn't taken root. It sounds nice, but if it hasn't taken root, how do they avoid the issues? What keeps them to just go to school and come home? Play sports, come home. Go after the things they want, come home. It's like we have to build these roots to give them something to fight for, where they believe in themselves beyond just what they're told. Taking accountability allows you to build this confidence. But you got to take losses in order to do that. You have to understand it. If you win all the time, then you just think you're supposed to win. You don't realize how much work you got to put in to get that W, to actually get that win in life, to get that win in the ring, to get that win in the cage. It's fucking crazy. You have to sacrifice, and you have to make sacrifices every day. You have to get up when you don't want to get up. You have to push through when you don't want to push through. And that gives you the confidence that you need to manage through life. And then add in that you're taking accountability for your own mistakes. Yo, I shouldn't have reacted that way. I'm sorry, my bad. I'm going to do better. And then do better. Don't just talk about it, be about it. It's crazy. Yes, exactly. I use sports because it's the easiest analogy for most people, right? It's the easiest analogy to make it connect with most people. And so, and to me, I tell my fighters all the time, fighting, dancing, and fucking are all the same. All the same to me. You can't do any of it and be deep in thought. You're not going to be good at it. It takes having a certain rhythm, right? You got to know how to move your hips. You got to understand how to do things, right? And there's nothing about that screams, let's go for instant gratification. It's all hard. It's all feeling it through while not actively thinking. It's like crazy. So sports always connect easy for me. I've worked with enough engineers now that I know how to get them to do things. I just have to put it in a more logical term. It's like, how much force are you going to need to push off the ground to do this? And so when I'm talking about life with them, it's the same way. Like most of them, they have such a fear to succeed. And it's like, well, stare in the mirror, deal with it, deal with those fears. But nobody wants to face those fears. Nobody wants to deal with it. Nobody wants to take accountability for their actions. I'm a refrain from swearing right there. I'm a freaking monster. If I listen to all the deepest devilish thoughts that I have, I'd cut throats. I'd cut at least one throat a day. I'd punch somebody a day. And I would not talk to anybody. And I'd be off on my own, right? But when I listen to the angelic side, the heavenly side of my brain, I can function in this world. It's way easier. But when that demon side comes out, the devilish side comes out, I have to take accountability for that. I understand I may not have put that there, right? Because if things didn't happen to me, if you put someone and nothing bad ever happens to them, we don't know what that person looks like. What does that person look like? I think that's what makes the story of Jesus so profound, is that all these things happened to him and he still found a way to like forgive. Even if you don't believe in God, right? Imagine somebody was able to take anything on and still forgive and then sacrifice themselves so other people can be free of sin, because that's what he believes so much. That's insane. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, base. Like, that's insane to think about. So we all have it in us. If Jesus, let's really break it down. It doesn't matter what religion you believe in. It doesn't even matter if you believe in religion. If one man had the capability, one man did it. One man did it. So we all could do it. We all can take accountability for ourselves and accountability for our own reaction and our own accountability for our actions, right? Just erase religion. We won't even add religion. We know through history books. Let's look at the Bible. Let's look at the Quran. Let's look at all these books as history books and not religious texts, history books. They speak of one man that did this. Well, nobody believed a man could run a mile under 9 seconds or 10 seconds. We didn't believe that humans could fly. We never believed that we can have technology like this. Someone did it, and then everybody copied it. Somebody did it, everybody copied it. Somebody did it, everybody copied it. And for some reason, we don't even think about copying this man. We don't think about having peace because it's easier to have war. I talk to these kids, man, it's just easier to be upset. Yeah, it's easier. Why walk the easy path? Because nobody's making it hard on people, right? That's why I think everybody should fight. I've said this before. If I was ever emperor of the world, everybody between 13 and 16 need to train for a fight. At 17, they fight. They do one fight. Then when they turn, then then they don't have to do anything. From 21 to 25, they have to train again. At 27, they have to fight. You have 2 fights in your life at those ages. The way you react to things, the way you go forth will be different because your ego got beat up so bad. You don't have an ego the same way. You have confidence. You've had to take accountability. Why am I getting punched in my face? Because you're not defending right. Why is this happening? Because you're not doing it right. It's pure accountability, nothing personal. I'm looking inward. I'm taking accountability for myself. I'm not doing something right with my defense. And also, they're great. They're doing something great. And I can live with that. It's okay if they do something great. They do something great. I got to get better. That's looking inward. That's looking at me. I got to do better. And that's what we're missing. And it's so hard for me because I don't know if it's the answer. I know it's a answer, right? I know it works. But I just don't beat the crap out of people. I don't put them through the muck. I don't put them through hell and then just send them out the door. We have long, dope conversations. I've seen grown men cry at my gym. They've seen me cry at my gym. But we talk. When all the work is done, we talk. It's like, I don't want you to go into the world a monster. I want you to know how to control that monster and then go out to the world. That's what I want to do with these young adults. That's why I think times were more brutal, but respect was different. I know, Corey, you said I should think about putting this package together and sending it off to Texas or something. I think we need it in states like this. I think we need it in areas where they don't live on the, as we were talking, living on the extreme. I still live on the extreme. Everything I do is extreme. I'm running my business. Like, I don't just see it as something small. I go insane with this. I want to make $1.3 million a year. Yo, that's not some little number. So I got to be extreme with it. It's like, it's so mind-blowing to me. If I'm going to see, I have to figure this out. I have to see what I have to do to grind these kids out, to grind these young adults out, just grind them out, 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 grind them out. And it's not like I just want to just beat them up. No, I want them to feel what it's like to win. I want them to understand that in life you lose and you win. Winning is a choice at some point. I had my son go through this the other day. My kid, sometimes I look at myself, I'm like, damn. I'm like, I'm crazy. But I didn't want my kids to go through the same stuff that I went through. So my son, like a couple Fridays ago, he did the workout with my fighters. And then there's this thing I do. I play Thunder. They had to do wall sits and all this other workout. Just know they died, right? They got their ass kicked. But I play the song Thunderstruck by AC/DC. And every time they say in the song, every time it says thunder, they have to do a plank walk and then go back to a plank position. They're holding a plank for 4-something minutes. And every time it says thunder, plank walk. They got to do a plank walk. And it's crazy, right? But then I'm watching my son zone in, and I'm like, you know what? He's never been broken. I put him in the middle, right? And now he's just doing a plank. And I have everybody else stop, and he's just holding that plank. The longest I've had someone hold that plank is like 18 minutes. At some point, you crack, and tears start coming down because you're in pain. And then you fall, and then you got to get back up, and then you fall, and you got to get back up, and then you fall, and you get back up. And the point of it is, at some point, you just make a choice. I'm not going down again. And your mind just goes to a different place, and you're determined to win. And watching my son do that, he held the plank for like 6 or 7 minutes. which is a long ass time for adults. For a 13-year-old kid, it was everything. And he was crying. And I asked him, I'm like, what do you want to do in your life? Play football. Why? Because I love it and this is what I want to do. Okay, why do you wrestle? So I can get better at football. What are you going to give for it? Everything. Nah, don't tell me the answer you want me to hear. What are you willing to sacrifice for it? Anything. I want this. While tears are coming down his eyes, while he's planking. Yeah. Yeah. Something within him broke. In our community, we call it the bitch assness. Right? We broke through. There's no shame in crying. Just do your job. No shame in crying. Just do your job. As a coach, as a father, I couldn't be more proud. And he inspired all the fighters. And he got to feel that love because they were all rooting for him. They want him to win. And then when he stood up and he put his arms up, he's snot's coming out his nose, tears are all down. And I give him a hug. And then all the fighters like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, that's it. You won. You won the war, but you lost. How many battles in that? He fell down. He lost. He got back up. He fell down. He lost. He got back up. He's shedding tears. He wants to give up. He's losing. But he gets back up and he ends up winning the war. That's life. And that's what enough people don't realize. And it's like, I want to do that with these kids. I want to do that with the whole freaking world. The only reason I'm writing a book is so I could tell people you could come from the darkest of darks, right? And I'm talking like I felt like Bane and Batman. Like that the way he talks to Batman when he beats the crap out of him, that's my ringtone. That's like, oh yeah. Oh, darkness. It's like that's my What how's he say it? He's like I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see light. It was like basically he didn't see the light until he was a grown man. It's like that's how I feel. That's how I feel about my life. I am choosing, and this is the dopest thing that I've learned is I'm choosing to walk in the light, and I could have made that choice when I was younger. I didn't know. And you know what? I probably did know, and I didn't apply the knowledge. I didn't take 100% accountability for myself. I didn't take total accountability. And once you do that, once you start taking accountability for yourself, your eyes never shut. You instantly know, like, damn, I messed up. Yep, that's on me. Doesn't matter what happened. And you want to blame other people, but it doesn't matter. Because you know you can't lie to yourself. You can lie to other people. You can't lie to you. You know. It's crazy. Oh man, Irish, Brian, thank you. It's mind-blowing how simple this is when you take accountability for yourself. It's so simple. The hard part is how it makes you feel. It's simple to take accountability. It's hard. It's so hard at how it makes you feel. Because once you start taking that accountability, it's like, oh, I shouldn't mess up like that no more. I shouldn't do that no more, right? Why am I still making those mistakes? And it's okay. You made the same mistake. Maybe 1 out of 10 you do well, and 2 out of 10, and then 9 out of 10, and then you're doing okay. It's crazy to me. Man, I'm appreciating y'all so much. Y'all can hit me with questions. I love questions. Before I get offline, it tends to change your own thought process, which is the end result of training. Yeah, I believe you do more growing in training. Ask yourself a question, right? Before you go train. I know Jordan Peterson talks about doing it before bed, and I think that works too. I like asking myself a question before I train. It's like, what am I trying to figure out? So it's like, why does this hurt me? Why am I reacting this way? Or what do I have to do to reach 10,000 likes on my live stream, right? What do I have to do to reach 3 billion people? I ask myself those questions and then I work out. And it doesn't mean that I'm gonna have the answer during the workout, after the workout, but I'm putting it into an active part of my brain, and then I go train. And I don't train like when I'm hitting a bag or something or hitting pads, I'll listen to music. But if I'm lifting weights or something and working with resistance bands, I don't listen to music then. It's like I want to be locked away in my brain. I want to be lost in my own head. I want to have conversations with myself right then. So, if I may, where are you from? Well, I live in Madison, Wisconsin. I've been here since 2009. I'm from Illinois. I moved to Wisconsin in 97. So, yeah. If I got to look, if there's a whole lot of what's the word? If there's a whole lot of sway that comes off me, I'll chop it up to Illinois. So definitely got my sway from Illinois. So Ohio here, okay, Midwest. So I'm very curious, like, how do y'all feel about what I talked about? Do you have questions on it? Are you struggling with anything? Louisiana, that's what's up. Another Ohio, man. This is what's up. I like it. I love that I'm able to reach people in other states. This is the start of 3 billion people. I appreciate y'all very much. And thank you for the roses. Holy cow, 14 roses. I didn't notice that until now. Wow. So my question, I have a question for y'all. Are you going through anything right now that's been hard on you to take accountability? One of the things that I know, yes, it does, very much so. Being uncomfortable makes you a better man for sure. I know one thing that I constantly have a battle with taking accountability for is it's just an argument with my wife. Like, I don't know what it is, but and I'm 10 times better at it now. I rarely react right now. I rarely react anymore. But when I do react, it's like, man, my first instinct is like, man, she said this though, man. Why you were cool with wilding out? You saying this made sense, right? She deserved that. She deserved for you to speak your mind. It didn't get us anywhere. So after about 10 to 30 minutes, I look myself in the mirror and like, do better. Do better. Take accountability for yourself. It is hard not to argue with your significant other. That's very hard, but that's the path you should walk. That's telling you that's the path you should walk, right? Because it's a hard path to walk that path because you love her, right? Or you love your partner and they love you. And the one thing I've had to learn is like, my wife always has my 6. She's always protected my 6. So even if she's telling me what to do or telling me how to do something, I can take it as that. I don't have to take it as she doesn't trust my leadership, because leadership doesn't mean the one who's bossing everybody around. Leadership means it's the one who could take the information, apply it, and decide the best direction. Take some hardcore listening skills. I have a hard time trusting my girlfriend and not being controlling. Hey, I just talked about that. Wait, and a hard time and not being controlling. Yeah, so if she wants to understand that her need for control, right, comes from hardcore DNA. It is in there. It is in a woman's nature to protect herself. And if she doesn't understand, if she's never been led, she doesn't truly know how to follow. She knows how to be a boss, right? And that's okay. She can learn from you though, by you taking what your girlfriend says, right? Because you're with her. Why be with her if you're not going to listen to her, right? Why be with her if you're not going to trust her? So if she's telling you something, take it in, right? So if you're driving to the gas station And she says, take a left here to get to that gas station. If you really care about going right or going straight, do you. However, if you don't care, just take the left. And I've talked about that before. Just listen. Just listen. You don't always have to do what you're told, right? But understand a good leader can take in the information and figure out their own path. Figure out the best path of action. And then be okay with whatever repercussions come. And that's how you teach her how to be a leader, right? Because if no one's led her, how does she know, right? If someone's just bossed her around, that's all she knows. She just knows how to be a boss. She doesn't know how to be a leader. So hopefully that helps. That helps. Man, we're going on 50 minutes. Thank y'all again. This just keeps getting doper and doper. Like every time I come in here, good analogy. Yeah. Hopefully it helps, man. And like DM me questions, DM me scenarios, right? Certain scenarios where you get stuck. DM me that. Like send me those messages. Send me questions. How long am I usually on for? It's somewhere between 30 minutes and hour is the longest we've pushed it. So it's like you can hit me with questions and I'll talk about it. I love answering questions. I love just looking at this. First of all, like if you were with me when I first started going live, we didn't have none of this. It was just a green screen, right? We didn't have the nice little bottom part. Like Corey is doing his thing. So everybody like hit like a whole bunch of times for Corey because that man is doing his thing back here. So it's like he is the evil genius. He is Oz. He is the Oz behind the curtain, and it's constantly dope. You just discovered me this week. Well, hey, thank you. You can tune in next week, and we're gonna keep getting it. So, thank you on Facebook. Thank you on YouTube. I appreciate y'all. TikTok seems to be madly in love with me. Me and TikTok get along very well. So, we're gonna keep doing this thing. Thank y'all. Shout out to Brother Corey. There it is. Brother Corey getting shout out. Let's go. Man, he says he appreciates it. He's a really smart brother. He's doing his thing, man. Make sure you check out Media 22 on all social media, Media 22, because he doesn't have just my programming on here. You follow that programming, you get led into all types of other stuff. So make sure you go follow Media 22, go like, subscribe, all that stuff. Man, I appreciate y'all so much. Have a beautiful day. We out. Remember, total accountability. You control you, baby. And go to the TikTok shop. Go get the hoodie. Let's go. Peace.